thank you everyone for coming, and our special guest and first speaker, Mr. Mike Katz.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for stalling. I appreciate that. How's everybody doing? You know, when it's February and you live in Seattle and you have a trip to Orange County, it's like you're kind of looking forward to it for your mental health because, you know, at this point in Seattle, it's been dark, I don't know, since Clint, like October? Yeah. So you think of Orange County, it's like, oh, the ocean's here and sun and surfing. And then I arrive in Orange County and I'm back in Seattle. So thank you. Now, it's great to be here. Did anybody else like look at this and like think like, are we at a funeral? A celebration of life for David and Rizwan. Oh man. Well, I'm so excited to be here. And you know, first of all, I know that today is about celebrating David and Riz, and I'll get to them in a second. But you know, with the entire team here, I had to start first and foremost with a huge congratulations. And I know we talked a little bit about this last week when we were on our call. Is this me? Mike, have tons of feedback? Is it just me? Okay. But I know we talked a little bit about this on our call last week. But man, what an amazing year we just finished in 2024. Amazing year. You know, like obviously we had big milestone where we closed this deal that we'd been working on for a long, long time. You know, probably like took 6-8 months we wanted to, but we finally got it closed. So we closed this deal. We had 7 months of working closely together. And when you look at what Mint and Ultra contributed to T-Mobile, it was like fantastic and way beyond our expectations. And again, I know I said this last week, but it's worth saying again. If you look at 2024 and you look at our prepaid business, which we report in aggregate and we don't break the piece parts down, but if you look at what we reported, we would not have been the leader in prepaid in 2024 without Mint and Ultra. Simply would not have been. In fact, we would have been like way behind everybody else. And I'd say the same thing about Q4. You know, the Q4, man, it was for those of you that work really close to parts of this, it was a tough quarter, not in the industry, but also like across our brands, Mint and Ultra. Like we were halfway through that quarter, it's like, we. And one of the things I just love about this team, and I think it's a huge part of the culture and something that, you know, David and Riz have really built into the culture here is like, okay, we're gonna move fast, we're gonna make decisions, and we're gonna change trajectories. And that's what happened in Q4. We went from like, oh my gosh, like, are we gonna make it kind of quarter to like, I think having one of the best Decembers that we've ever had. And that closed out a quarter where again, without Mint and Ultra, T-Mobile would have been nowhere near the leader in prepaid in the industry. So just a huge congratulations to everybody on this team. But you know, I think more importantly, the thing, you know, quarters come and go. You know, the nicer hard thing about a quarter is it's like great to pat yourself on the back and then you get to do it all over again. You know, like we're back in Q1 and what have you done for me lately? But the thing that sustains and what's been built here is these amazing brands. You know, that the Mint brand and the Ultra brand, but the Mint brand probably because it's a little bit more featured and advertised, is beloved. This is a beloved brand that's been built here. And that's really hard to do. Like building brands and changing brand perception is incredibly, incredibly difficult. I'll just give you an example of what I mean. And this is gonna sound like super biased and self-serving, but you'll have to just take my word for it. You know, T-Mobile has a big brand. And it's a brand that, you know, over the years, billions of dollars have been spent on it. But it's also a brand that over the last 5 or 6 years, T-Mobile's had the best, if you look at any objective study, T-Mobile has the best network. Like it's just, you know, a function of the Sprint deal and all the assets that we got, an incredible team that's building. We have the best network. And who does the market think has the best network? Verizon. Yeah, and the reason why is that like brands are a hard thing to change people's perception on. You know, especially when you're competing against literally some of the not just biggest brands in telecom, but like the biggest brands in the world, the AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile. And the fact that Mint, there was a study that came out earlier this year, I don't know if you guys saw it in PC Magazine, it had like the most beloved wireless brands in America. And I mean, I wish it was T-Mobile, but if you look at like the top two brands, it was Consumer Cellular and it was Mint. And ahead of T-Mobile, way ahead of AT&T and Verizon, and ahead of all the other MVNOs out there. So what you guys have built that lasts beyond each of these quarters where you guys are crushing it is this brand that has a community of people that absolutely love it. I love when I get these notes, like Mike and I and several of the SLT at T-Mobile get these notes from customers from time to time where they're frustrated about something, and it's like, T-Mobile, gosh, you said you were going to do this and you didn't do that, and I'm so frustrated. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to leave and go to Mint. And I love it every time I don't love the customers frustrated, but I love seeing that they're going to Mint. But you're here today. I don't want to take up all the time because this day is about David and Riz. But I wanted to just say to David and Riz, thank you. Thank you, both of you. I have long been an admirer of David and Riz. I've known them for over a decade. I've watched in awe of what they've built, and I know we've talked a lot about what you guys have here and how special it is, and I think everybody that works here realizes how special what we have here is. But one of the things that I've always found so inspiring, mostly because I would call myself too much of a coward to do it myself, is just the entrepreneurial spirit that you guys both have. Like, building a company like this takes some serious guts. Like, it takes major guts. And it's why so few people are able to do it, because a lot of people just don't have the fortitude to take on something like this. And I've always sat in awe watching you guys build this company brick by brick, taking the risks. The story that you told last week about turning Ultra on in the middle of a hurricane, it's just unbelievable. And there's not many people or many entrepreneurs that are willing to take the risks and put in what you guys did into this company. And it's something that's been long inspiring for me. When I look around this room, there's we could talk all day about how incredible this business is and how well it's performing and how you outperformed everything that you told us that you were going to do when we did the business plan, which is both good and bad. I mean, as we've recognized. But I think the real thing that's going to leave legacy in what you both have built here is this team. This team is amazing. We always knew this was a great team here. I had the opportunity to visit from time to time, and our teams worked together for a long time. So we always knew that there was a great and really special team here. But it's really been over the last 6 or 7 months as we've had the opportunity to work a lot more together, where it was really reinforced on us, like, how truly special this team is. And I can tell you, me personally, I am just so proud to just be somewhere in the same orbit with this team, because it's just an incredible group of people, an incredible group of thinkers, incredibly creative group of people, a team that will just go and take any challenge on anytime it's thrown in front of them. And I couldn't be more proud just to be even slightly associated with it. But I think that's one of the biggest legacies you'll leave is compiling this unbelievable, diverse, highly talented, highly experienced group of people together. And a big part of that is how you guys have thought about and been so thoughtful about succession. And I think for a founder-led company, that's like one of the most difficult things. Like, it's hard. It's hard because you guys are so special. You've contributed so much of yourself and your soul into this company, and it's really difficult. Like, who's gonna fill these shoes? And amongst the things that I'm so impressed with, it's the leadership team that you guys have. I've personally had the chance to work very closely with Andrew, with Scott, with JJ, with Demo, and these guys aren't just top Mint and Ultra executives. I would stack these guys as executives in any major, certainly telco or any company out there. Like, this is a highly, highly talented, effective, incredible group of leaders that you guys have put together. Yeah. again, it's really hard to do that. And I feel so fortunate that we have a group of people here that can be empowered to just run the day-to-day operations of this company and do it at the quality and execution that we're seeing. And that's a huge credit to the two of you to be so thoughtful and insightful to bring this kind of talent into the company. As you guys kind of transition into these new roles, into strategic advisor roles, I am really looking forward to working with you in a slightly different way. Like a lot of our interactions up to this point, we're negotiating a deal and trying to close a deal and negotiate with the government and shit like that. But one of the things I'm interested in is the opportunity to take a beat and actually tap into some of these creative juices that both of you have that can help, not just Mint and Ultra, but help T-Mobile with some of the big things that we have in front of us. And David and I were talking about some of these this morning. I think it's a really exciting opportunity to do that, while also not losing what you guys bring to the four leaders that I just mentioned a second ago. But I'm excited about this pivot to work with you guys in a slightly different way. I think one of the reasons why I'm excited is because in this decade that I've known you, guys have been incredible colleagues, been incredible leaders, both in this company but in the industry. I mean, David and I were talking a second ago. You guys wouldn't believe how many celebrities have called us in the last, I don't know, couple years, and be like, oh yeah, I'm a big celebrity. I'm just gonna do what Mint did. I saw what Ryan Reynolds did, and I'm just gonna do what Mint did. So, will you sign us up for an MVNO deal? And one of the things that I always remind them of, and I told David this morning, is, and this team knows this and never should forget it, is the reason why Mint worked. And this isn't we're not trying to dig on Ryan. Ryan's been amazing and been a big amplifier for this company. But the reason why Mint worked is it was an unbelievably successful company before Ryan ever showed up. Unbelievably successful. And it's because it had the ingredients that made it different and unique. Mint has and Ultra both have an incredible value proposition that's so differentiated from anything else that's out there still now. And others are trying to match it and still haven't been able to. So an incredibly differentiated value proposition and a really unique point of view on distribution. This still is the biggest and most successful company in digitally distributed mobile in America, by far. And that's why it's successful. And that's what this team in this room built. And it doesn't matter who the celebrity is and how big they are. If you don't have that, you don't have this team, you're not going to succeed. And that's why you haven't seen anybody else do it. But in addition to being great colleagues and being great leaders and being great industry stewards, the thing that's the most important to me and the most enduring for both of you is our friendship. And that's something I feel like we've been able to build over the last many years. And to me, it's something that's never going to go away. And I'm so excited for the both of you, kind of as you turn the page into the next chapter of your journeys. Excited to hang out with you. I'm sure David inviting me to all the places in the world that he goes to. We'll be vacationing together. I can't wait for that. Riz and I already have big plans to hit Disneyland hard with our kids. So I'm looking forward to that. But that's what I'm looking forward to most is continuing our friendship and watching you guys in this next chapter. So thank you, and please join me in welcoming the founder of this company, David Glickman.
Thank you very much. We're actually we got a switcheroo. We got a switcheroo on him. So we're actually going to introduce one of the original OGs. Original OG? That's redundant, right? So I guess the OOG, Aaron Anderson.
You're probably like, what's she doing here? Once Ohana, always Ohana. So first, thank you, David and Rizwan, for... No, I got to do my slides because I've got photos. If you guys know me, I've got photos. So thank you for allowing me to be part of this celebration. Of course, you both have been such a huge part of my life and where I am now, so I'm truly grateful. We do I want to bring up what I'm calling the pre-launch posse. If I can bring up Jesse Anderson and Sean Enright as well. So we know it's going to take a little while because I'm going to, start off the toast. We know it's going to take a little while for Amy and team to sort of pour that. So if you guys actually can come over here, we have a little bit of a video that's just a small glimpse of all of our fun adventures. And let's take a look.
Don't lie, the world you're living in. Take a look around, at least you got friends. I call my old lady, more friendly word. She picked up the phone, dropped it on the floor. It's all I heard. I'm gonna let the elevator break us down. Oh no, let's go crazy. Let's get nuts. Look for the purple banana till they put us in the truck. Let's go. Excited, don't know why. Maybe it's 'cause all gonna die. When we do, what's it all for? Better live now, before the people come knocking on your door. Tell me, gonna let the elevator break us down. Oh no, let's go crazy. Let's get nuts. Look for the purple banana till they put us in the truck. Let's go. Come on, baby. Let's get nuts. Yeah. Let's go crazy.
So that was just a very, very small glimpse. The great part about it is there's a much longer version in our next part of our adventure today. And thank you. Big shout out to Eileen Delgado for helping me out with that. So I will be scripted because I thought I was just coming to pick a theme and bring some photos. And then they're like, but don't you want to say something? And I said, no, I'm going to cry. That's why I don't usually say something. But I thought you would appreciate the road to Cayena, of course. Fun reminder of how many amazing adventures. Again, I'm going to stand here because I've got a lot of slides to give you. This is one of those shots from the very early days. And so what made me think of this theme was just like the road to Cayena is very similar to our journey here. I was trying to play this video. Jesse, you were driving, I think, at the time. It's not going to work. But you can imagine if anybody's been to Cayena Point and you're bouncing around, and then it's just a beautiful journey. But it's just like the journey here. It's exhilarating. It can be scary. It can be fun all at one time. But it's totally worth it. There's also been incredible stops along the way. What do I say is that I guess we're the pre-launch posse. So although there's tons of exciting stops along the way, the two that I want to make sure, and I think Mike Katz actually mentioned one that we give a round of applause for, is definitely the launch in October of 2012 for Hurricane Sandy. That was just incredible. So I can get a round of applause for that for them. I think another one for sure, becoming Inc.'s fastest growing company in America in September of 2015. I mean, really, you guys are true pioneers for the MVNO prepaid space. So I was asked one of my favorite moments. There's so many stories, many I cannot share with any of you. But at launch, I would say, or right after launch, So at launch, there were 10, probably a little less than 10 people, but they were in 5 different states. So the time together was minimal. So one of my favorite moments was our January 2013 offsite. And I'm so glad we all look the same after 12 years. It's just amazing. So this is where I got on my first road to Cayena. And it was just so special, and it was just so magical. So, you know, I came from a large public company prior, and what was really interesting is it just was a new experience for me. Imagine sitting on couches planning strategy sessions and taking markers and writing on windows and with a beautiful scenery in the background. And we planned our 3 to 5 year plan there, and we sang and we laughed and we played games, and we determined that we needed more mad geniuses in the mix. And so it just was just a credible journey, and I really do believe it was where we set the tone for our culture and what ended up becoming our core values of embracing our adventure. So, so I want to thank, obviously, David and Rizwan for their innovation, your continued investment in our people, our channels, your passion for your energy, and just guiding us through this road to Cayena. So thank you with all my heart. And I cheers to you, but I'm going to hand it off to, this is how I know who I'm handing it off to, Mr. Sean Enright.
Mic check, mic check. All right. So I started doing freelance work in early 2012 for some of the partners. I was mostly working under Chris, who was another founding member. And you know, things are going well, smoothly. A few months roll by, and June hits, and Chris, more or less in one breath, says, "Hey, we need you to come on full time. The partners are flying to New York. You're going to get introduced to them, and we're launching an MVNO in October." I didn't know what an MVNO was. Sounded daunting. I think between the acronym and the aggressive launch timeline, it's like, oh. But I acquiesced. I got on board. The next few months were just like breakneck speed. That whole first year, looking back, just feels totally ridiculous. And I think everybody knows by now that we launched during Superstorm Sandy. There's an adage in tech that's not a bug, it's a feature. And I think to some, like launching during a major hurricane, like the biggest one that ever hit New York, might be a red flag. To me, I just had this feeling, I'm like, I think it's a feature, not a bug. I had like accidentally, through Craigslist, stumbled into this realm of some mad geniuses, and I'm like, I'm just probably gonna see this one through. Fast forward 13 years, and the rest is history. You guys have taken your vision and, you know, grown and pivoted time and time again. I've had the luxury of getting to grow and pivot all along the way with the company. Like so grateful for the opportunity, like a true privilege, once in a lifetime experience. And you guys should just be so proud. So thank you, David. Thank you, Rizwan.
Never mind.
Don't worry, I'll try to make this quick. I'll do my best. On script, of course. So I'm Jesse Anderson, in case for those of you who might not know. We're all here to celebrate these 2 fine gentlemen here today, and I'll try to keep it brief. I'll do my best. Really quickly, before I start, did you guys know that Sean and I both play bass? Something tells me that there's like an old hiring strategy of some kind, right? Like if you're gonna hire a musician, like hire a bass player. Yeah, or maybe it is. We show up. That's it. So I go way back with these guys, and this has been a trip. When I was asked to say a few words, a lot of memories, like a lot of memories. And it turns out I've been working for David and with Rizwan for like 20 years, if my math is accurate here. Usually is. There wasn't even an Apple iPhone back then. Like I remember my Samsung flip phone. Like when I started working for you, it was ridiculous thinking back. It was like the Stone Age or something. Anyway, so I had the privilege of seeing the evolution of all this from a small handful of folks running free calling to China to what you see here today. I think that's pretty amazing. So it's needless to say, it's been such an honor and a privilege just to watch these guys operate over the years and learn from them. I'm just so in awe of, everybody says entrepreneurial spirit, but I mean, my goodness, I've never witnessed anything like this before. It's so inspiring. But some other things that I've learned from these guys along the way, believe it or not, I learned so much about how to IT from Rizwan. Like back at the Sirius Telecom days. I mean, come on, I forgot the name. I mean, I couldn't even remember, like, Sirius, what Sirius? Like, yeah, it was crazy. That was where our tech stack was hosted back in the day. Let's see. And I learned so much. I learned everything I know about the international telecommunications space from Dr. Glickman here, including how to trade show like an MFing boss. Nobody does it like David. I mean, that's just one example, but really, nobody trade shows like David. He's a hard guy to keep up with, and so it was seriously eye-opening. Maybe that's why I lost some weight or something, So yeah, we learned to enjoy the show Silicon Valley together, which was a huge thing. We had a good time there. The art of quoting The Simpsons. How to change tires on a Jeep that was covered in mud at dusk. It was always at dusk, and this isn't just one time. It was always at dusk. And how to make the best, of course, gin and tonic and the Mytanic. I almost forgot about the Mytanic. Remember that? Beauty. And I can't leave out arbitrage, of course, because arbitrage. So David and Riz both shattered my idea of how people like them sort of should be, right? And I've given them a lot of thought. And I think it's primarily because I don't think anybody like David and Rizwan has ever existed in history before. Yeah, I agree. So when I was asked, when Aaron asked me to say a few words, again, I'm trying to keep this brief, but so many memories. The first, I think I'm gonna have to go with the first time I sat down with David. I still remember meeting David at Jerry's Deli up in the Valley for a job interview, basically, right? It was supposed to be informal, but it was a job interview. Let's not mince words. So I was obviously super nervous. I'd never really been around anyone who achieved so much and had such status before. I mean, based on what I'd heard of him. And let's face it, he had an Amex Black Card. So, I'm surprised I even knew what one of those was at the time. But anyway. But after that, after he dropped made the first Simpsons quote, we kind of connected on that, and I totally relaxed. So we had a nice chat, and I could tell that there was something very special about this guy. If I could go back and tell myself what that meeting would eventually mean and lead to, there's no way on earth I would have believed myself for a second. And to conclude, I just want to express my sincere gratitude to both of you guys. Been such a big part of my life for such a long time. It's been a weird and wild ride. I can't wait to hear about what you guys are up to next. Thank you very much. And I love you guys.
Thank you, Jesse. The next presenter is someone that you might have heard his name before. Oh yeah, go do that. Sorry, I just get caught up in what I'm doing. Oh, you got a couple more. Or one more. We got the extra itchy kind, by the way. So that'll just bother you the whole time. All right, the next person up, hopefully he knows who's presenting. And you might have heard his name, the genius behind Mint Mobile, Aaron North. Here he comes. It's hot. It's a hot mic. Just hold it up here.
Awesome. What? Hey, everybody. Good to see everyone. It's awesome to see the office filled up. It's like one of my favorite things. Oh, go back too soon. A, no V.
You know, we're good at so many other things.
I know.
Really good at this.
So I'm going to tell a personal best and a professional best story, sort of a little hint to EOS. I just thought of that right now, by the way. The story I'm going to tell, this is so, I mean, I'm laughing. I'm looking at the pictures you guys are showing, and the memories are flooding in. But I got my first real introduction to David on that road to Cayena. And I had met David in the office, but hadn't spent much time with him. It was our first offsite, and I'm like, this is cool. We're going to Hawaii for an offsite. I mean, I'd come from Taco Bell, where it was a little more corporate. It was a fun brand, but not nearly as entrepreneurial as here. Well, we have 2 Jeeps, and we drive in the Jeeps up to Cayena Point. And I'm gonna do like a demonstration here because this is quite realistic. This photo looks exactly like Cayena Point, and this is the road, okay? This hilly, mountainous, cavernous road. Aaron Anderson is like, hey, also Tyler at the time, like, hey, you haven't spent much time with David. Why don't you go in David's Jeep? I'm like, cool. I'll get to meet David. So then everybody left, and it was just David and I in the Jeep. And I'm like, oh, we get some one-on-one time. This is great. David's like, buckle up. I'm like, of course, we're off-roading. I'm gonna wear my seatbelt. 2 Jeeps, 1 road. However, the other Jeep was in front, and David was not having any of that. So David decided we were going to use all of the Jeep, all of the off-road, and we full-blown started 4x4ing this thing at like 45, 50 miles an hour. And I will never forget because I was white knuckle here, I had the oh shit bar here, I was using both of my legs to hold myself in place, and we came in first. It was not a race, but at that exact moment, I realized I'm gonna get along with him great. He's fiercely competitive, super duper fun, and then when we parked in the front, what do they call it, like a skim guard, the thing that protects the engine was hanging off, David's like, oh, don't worry, we'll just take the whole thing off. No one ever looks under the Jeep when you return them. I was just like, this is wild. And I loved it. Oddly enough, the last offsite I went to in Aspen also had a Jeep experience. We were not racing anyone, but we still managed to get 3 wheels in the air. And I think that was something special for Scott. And can we go ahead and click over to that photo? Because let me just tell you, I took this one in 2017. And I can't remember if Scott or I took this one a few months ago, but David has a thing for standing on Jeeps and jumping off them like really, really high. It was just wild, super fun. Some of my best memories, right? Like easily some of my best work memories are at this place. These were sort of so much fun and wild and great. This Jeep, by the way, he owns, and we did not damage it. So we only damaged the rentals. That's why you never buy a rental car. The other story I'm gonna tell is one that's like a true professional story, and it's how this trilogy of Riz, David, and I worked together in the early years. It's one of my favorite stories because it had massive impacts to the business. It was wild to see how we were getting things done. Everybody was doing their thing perfectly, and it turns out what we did was a stroke of genius. And this was coming out of COVID. So we were coming out of COVID. We had learned at the time, Mint early on, did not have an unlimited plan. We were sort of against unlimited because most people didn't need it. But in COVID, like the world shifted and unlimited became a security blanket for everyone. Now, most people still don't need it, but we have it. And we wanted to launch unlimited. We had the teams working on it. You know, how are we gonna build it? How are we gonna do this? What are we gonna do? And then it came to pricing. And that's when it got really interesting because I was steadfast in saying we need to offer unlimited at $30 a month. It's got these plans, the rate plan, everything goes up $5. It makes sense. The market will love this. It was wildly affordable at the time. The $15 price point was unheard of. I know other people have copied us, but a $30 unlimited plan was wild. So I start pre-selling it. I'm talking to Riz, and Riz is into unlimited. He's like, I like this new plan, new customers coming in, bigger market. And then I drop the 30 on him, and earmuffs. No fucking way. Like, we're not doing this. We're not gonna make any money. And we're a business. We need to make money. I'm like, to quote David, and I heard him say this once before, it's like, we'll make money later. So Riz and I went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, like for weeks. And then we finally could not come to an agreement. So we took it to King Solomon. We're like, how are we gonna split the baby? And David just looked at it, understood both sides of the argument, and was like, you know what? We will make money later. Let's go with the $30 unlimited. And that's how we ended up launching that unlimited plan. But the way we did it and the way the team worked together, and how I talk a lot about productive conflict and the need to have it, and you've got to push, you've got to stand up. We were both standing up for what we believed was right, and it was just so fun. And then to have sort of like just the three of us make such a big decision, and to have it ultimately be wildly successful. Our unlimited plan is, more than a third of our business now. It's an entry point for a lot of people into Mint. It's a testament to like how early on we would work that way and have so much fun doing it. And I just loved it. So that's why I wanted to share that story.
Great job. We're going to wait till the end. Oh. No, you do it right now. Yeah, no, right now. You're already up here. Here you go. Oh. These are gonna be over their head pretty soon, which I think that'll be hilarious for the final picture. That'd be great. All right, thank you. The next person up, Miss. Oh, you have the clicker. I'm sorry. I'm just used to touching the keyboard. Tim Park, you're up. I want to give it a quick introduction. If you don't know Tim Park, he's been around here a long time. Started in what you would call a care center. Care is a really strong word. It was like 3 people in the office trying to figure out what the hell is going on, answering phone calls, also fixing the systems, and of course now he's also one of the OGs.
Thank you for having me up here, David, Riz. I'll start off by a little bit of a personal thing. I think I first remember my first week on the job, David. I joined you in LA at a entrepreneurs conference. And I don't know about you guys, but back then we used to have a micro SIM card. And so now there's 3-punch, but it used to be micro. And I spent that day on a Saturday punching out SIM cards for you and anyone else who wanted an Ultra SIM service. And that was my first memory. And then Riz, I don't really remember our first memory, but I remember hearing your name. Believe it or not, if you guys know Ryan Carmody and we actually applied for the same position. Ryan applied and he interviewed with Riz, and he didn't get it. And I remember being afraid of Riz because thank God I didn't interview with that guy, because he might have been a little bit of a hard ass and I might not have gotten the job. But from a personal standpoint, you guys took a chance on someone like out of college, had no idea what they were doing. Riz, you've also been so like behind me in closed doors, fighting for me. David, you as well. And I'm only here because of you and the opportunities and what you've paved for me. And so from the bottom of my heart, I just want to say thank you very much. Now, we are on the road to Cayena. So I wanted to share one major point on that road that was, I think, pivotal for not only the engineering and the tech ops team, but also for this company, which was the Gen 3 migration. So back when in 2019, when we had the dream to become a $1 billion valuation company, I mean, we're on the other side of it now, but back then it was just a dream. We knew that our systems, our Gen 2 system, was not as scalable. It was not as flexible. And you guys all know at the rate that Riz and David work, like they are light speed. They have so many different ideas. They want to do so many different things. And our tech stack could not keep up. So what did we have to do? Well, we had to migrate. We built an entirely new technical stack. We had a full-blown migration from Gen 2 to Gen 3. We also migrated from ACC to Netcracker at the exact same time. So we're trying to change the engine on a boat and keep it moving at the same time. You guys can see some of the photos here. The Gen 3 migration did not go very well at the very beginning. David and Riz were very gracious to purchase us cots so that we could sleep at the office, so we could work a little bit more efficiently. But the byproduct of what this was that back then, we had to choose between Mint or Ultra to develop on. We couldn't work on both of those during the same sprint, but now we could. We can now work parallel. We can formulate and actually execute on all the ideas that they had at the exact same time. Right now, I'm not sure if you guys know, but back then at capacity Gen 2, we are running, the math on this is a little difficult. Back then, right now we're running at 15% of what Gen 2 is capable of. So we are so much better than what we were before. We can do so much more, and we are now here because of what you guys have paid for and the decisions that you've made along the way. So again, bottom of my heart, thank you guys so much. And thank you guys for showing us such an inspiring way to do what you guys do.
Thank you, Mr. Park. Oh, you already did Mike? I'm sorry. See, it's a habit. I want to come up here and click. Okay, I'm up here next talking about something called the Super Bowl. I'll make this kind of quick. I want to let everyone know we actually had 2 stunts that year. We had the AFC Championship and then the Super Bowl. Luckily for us, the AFC Championship, we failed miserably. We went down in about 1.5 seconds. Aaron was on the phone with me about 2 seconds-ish, saying, "What the hell's going on? We just spent a lot of money." And I'm like, oh, shit. So we had the next 2 weeks to get it done. However, the support from SLT and be so bold to say, we're going to go do this, and we're going to stick with that plan, and we trust you, was amazing. And we bought some champagne for the Super Bowl, either because we're going to toast to our success or our resignation. We weren't sure which one, but thank goodness it was to our success. So that was an amazing piece. And if you look at like just kind of the marketing efforts that went into, I actually pulled up some old screenshots here on Twitter. If you guys ever seen Chunky Milk, really gross one, but really funny. Maybe not as gross as finger dipping or carpet showers, but it was a really good one. So thank you guys for being such leaders and being so bold to spend and also trust the teams to get that done for you. So thank you. I'll lay you later. I'll do that later. And I think the next one is actually also me. Is that right? Yep, it is. Yep, nailed it. All right. So COVID was a shock for the world. And unless you're over 100 years old, we've never seen a pandemic, right? I think the last one was like 1918-ish. So most of us, I assume, had not seen a pandemic, and it was crazy. And all of us are freaked out, trying to figure out, I can't go through the drive-thru anymore. My Taco Bell was out of the way. Like, I live on Taco Bell. I love it, even though, as you can tell, I shouldn't, but I do love it. And I thought for sure we were going to have some massive changes. And I'm going to actually talk about other teams that were impacted, in particular the sales team. Like, most of the tech people were already working remotely, but the sales team had to go to the stores, be in the brick and mortar, right? And that would be a very scary time. You can't go there. These two doubled down and said, we'll take care of you. And while you can't work, let's take care of the community. We bought like 30 different sewing machines. We had 10 different 3D printers going out there. And I did some quick stats. We made, with the sewings, we made over 2,000 masks, because keep in mind, they didn't have masks in mass production at that point. People were like trying to sew them themselves. So we had over 2,000 of those. And then we also, the pictures didn't make it, we also made like, for the nurses and stuff to make the ear bands for them to like protect their ears. We had the visors going on, which you put like old school laminate paper on there. We were able to do over 5,000 of those and send those to local hospitals, across the nation. So, and that's because of your vision, your compassion, and then that's when we started the monthly meetings on our town hall saying, don't worry about it. We're going to get through this together. let's play games, and you guys would talk about the family games you guys are doing in the house and stuff like that. And it's such an inspiration. And to be that sort of visionary and have that much compassion during such a hard time is just outstanding.
You just brought another memory to life, so I wanted to come up. So this is wild, right? Like, COVID's happening, it's crazy. You could not get hand sanitizer. You couldn't find it anywhere. It was sold out anywhere. The genius goes, you know what? You can't find individual hand sanitizers. I can buy a 55-gallon drum, and then we'll have all the hand sanitizer we need. So David buys multiple 55-gallon drums of hand sanitizer and then buys hundreds of bottles and sets up a system in the warehouse where we're pumping out of the 55-gallon drum into personal hand sanitizers, and he sent it to everybody in the company because, I mean, it's hard to remember some of the stuff, but you couldn't find toilet paper. Like, sanitizer was nowhere to be found. And I just think, like, it's another testament to how David will find there is a problem, and David will engineer and create a solution nobody thought of, and everybody wins as a result. That was an epic one. So I had to come off the fire truck.
That's a really good one. Thank you. All right, the next person up, Mr. David Morgan. I hope he knows he's up because I don't see him. Here he's coming. Oh, you did not know that? Oh, we're doing that now. Okay, I'm doing it. I promise I'll get this down for the next celebration. I promise.
All right, I've been back there editing it because I was told 1 minute, then 2 minutes, and then Aaron went on, came back on. I've been adding to it, subtracting from it. I'm all over the place right now. So I've got a couple notes to kind of help keep me honest here. So I'm going to talk about kind of the experience I have with what we refer to commonly as like the dynamic duo, and that's David and Rizwan. And that's a term I kind of learned from Khan. He kind of coined it as you got a mad scientist and a wizard, and you've got them out there, one of them creating growth opportunities, the other one has a simple job, just figuring out how to make it come true. So I was fortunate enough to join the company back in 2019. In fact, my interview took place in that conference room back there. And this was the first time I met David and Rizwan. And I remember sitting at the conference table, and Rizwan puts his hands on the table and says, "We want you to join the company. There's one thing. We can't call you David." And I thought they were joking at the time. I didn't know that it was going to be permanent. And so in typical dynamic duo fashion, David, the problem solver, says, "Timo, Demo." Boom, done. And that became my new name. So a great start to the adventure. Phone keeps checking out here. So when I joined the company, it was about 100 people, and we'd already gone through several phases of growth. Ultra was highly successful. We were scaling up Mint. And within a year, we started Project Gatsby, and that was our opportunity to work with Ryan and bring Ryan on. What a lot of people don't really know probably is the origin story of how that came to be. So I think David was at David was at a charity dinner and had an opportunity to meet Ryan, as many of us went up to Ryan, but not for a selfie, to tell him how impressed he was with what he'd done with Aviation Gin, a product that nobody drank. And then referred and told him, what could you do with the product that everybody used? Think of the possibilities. And that's kind of what created the opportunity for partnership with Ryan, and created this amazing success story. Kind of threw some rocket fuel on our rocket ship and kind of hit our next stage of growth. So during that time, we looked at several opportunities from IPOs to SPACs when they were popular. We even threw money at Consumer Cellular for a bid, kind of punching outside our weight class. So tons of growth opportunities, tons of adventures. And that ultimately led us to Project Slingshot. And everyone kind of knows where we ended up. We ended up with Rightful Family in our place in the portfolio as part of T-Mobile's business. What you probably didn't see was kind of some of the behind the scenes. So while this was a major accomplishment for the company and something that David and Rizwan worked on for probably a good 2 to 3 years, while everyone was celebrating, I think that they're celebrating the success of the transaction. Personally, I got to witness it from behind the scenes, and the thing I noticed more than anything was that what they really were proud of was the impact they were able to make to employees, how positive it was, and how good of an opportunity it was going to be for us to be part of the T-Mobile family. And so I took away from that, like, it's not so much about the success you have as a company, and kind of like all the amazing things we did. There's one thing I truly learned, and one thing I truly will remember, is something that David and Rizwan taught us very early on, which life is too short. You want to finish it for me? Yeah, life is too short not to work with people you don't love. So I think that's the legacy here, right? We've built something of an amazing culture, an amazing company, and that's what goes on. So my final toast to you guys is, here's to the legacy. Cheers.
Thank you. And then next up is going to be Mr. Chris. By the way, our food's getting cold over there, so the next speeches are going to go a lot quicker. So sorry I spoke so long. We'll get a lot more lays for them, I promise.
Yeah, I'll keep it quick because I know we got food coming and drinks coming. So as you can tell from today, David and Rizwan like to move slow. Like to keep it simple, just a couple products, slow incremental growth. Obviously, that couldn't be further from the truth. So I'd like to thank you guys, David and Rizwan, for pushing us to either start or acquire the following. Ultra Mobile, huge win, obviously. Primo, can't win them all, but Mint Mobile, Campus Sims, Plum, Ultra Home Internet, the list goes on and on. Now we're at Mint Home Internet. But the point is, we had some huge successes there, huge wins, more than most companies will ever have, right? But we also had some failures. Some of these didn't work. But the important part is that you guys gave us the room to fail and to learn from that. And then from those learnings, we created more winners. And it was just, for me, it was a really awesome experience to be able to have that freedom and try new things and not be afraid that we're gonna lose our jobs. And so there was so much goodness there. And I just want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. This was really a life-changing event for all of us.
All right. Well, everybody here hears from Andrew and I a good amount, so we'll try to be super quick. But what's amazing about these stories and even the pictures is that everybody here, or almost everybody here, has stories like that to share. Just the ways that Rizwan and David have touched all of us, and the company has been incredible. And to me, obviously, all of these things that we're sharing are just great experiences. But it goes to not just the businesses that they've created, but the culture and really the sense of family, right? Like everybody here just proud over the years of everything that's accomplished, and everybody, shooting to do more. Yeah, I remember being here for the first time about 6 years ago, and the office was much like this, very busy, an electric spirit, very entrepreneurial. And I remember meeting with David for the first time on that fire truck, and it was very clear where this entrepreneurial spirit came from. Everybody here was just on a mission. So it was incredible. And, for JJ, Andrew, Demo, and I, really the best thing that we can do to thank David and Rizwan for everything that they've done for all of us is to lean into the culture that they created over the years and the mission that all of us have been on, and continue that every day with everything that all of us do, and just shoot for the moon and lean into those things that we all learned and developed over time. So thank you to both of you, and we're looking forward to making you proud in the years to come.
Or said another way, we'll try not to fuck this thing up for you guys. Honestly, hearing everybody talk there, I'm starting to feel emotional about all this. Not just about Rizwan and David, but I joined 4.5 years ago, and I feel like I joined at a time where we could stand on the shoulders of greatness. All these folks that deserve to be who we just heard from the pre-posse. What was that called? Pre-launch posse. The pre-launch posse to Aaron and David and Riz. You all belong on like the Mount Rushmore of Ultra Mobile, of Ultra and Mint. So thank you not just to David and Riz, but to everybody here who started and created this juggernaut of a company that I feel so lucky to be a part of. I have a fundamental belief that environments shape a company and founders shape that environment. When there's an environment where we can all be our best selves at work, bring our best selves to work, win together and be our best selves together, that's how you create something that really is as special as this. And David and Riz created something where when we win, the company wins, and when the company won, we all won together. So thank you so much to David and Riz, and for the folks who have a drink, let's.
Hold on 1 second. I'm sorry. Yeah, we're going to raise that in 2 seconds. JJ couldn't be here today, just so everyone knows. He wanted to be here to celebrate with you. He did have a quick message I'm going to read. Thank you, David and Rizwan, for your vision, dedication, and relentless pursuit of innovation that transformed an envious startup dream to a thriving business and a unicorn. Your leadership has not only built a remarkable company, but also inspired our employees to dream big and push boundaries. The impact of your work extends far beyond business success. It has created opportunities, fostered growth, friendships, and redefined what's possible. Your journey is a testament to resilience and bold ambition, and we're all deeply grateful for your passion and perseverance, which gave us life to your incredible vision. Man, those are long words. Why couldn't make them a lot shorter for me? Anyway, now we're going to raise our glasses, and then let's do our toast. Thank you so much, guys. Cheers. I'm raising a microphone for you. Cheers. Good job. That was amazing. Okay, last final announcements. We're heading over to, I want to say the Grizzly Rose, because that's a country bar in Colorado. It's called Rose Cafe. So no country dancing, unfortunately. We're heading right over there in the parking lot. If you can't see it, it's right there. Other announcements will be, hold on, gotta pull up my stuff. We have some cool stuff to do. We have a photo booth. We have a videographer here, kind of like a whole wedding thing, make a video message. We also have poster signings. So there's an exact replica of 2 different posters, one for David, one for Rizwan. David's is gonna be on the left, Rizwan's gonna be on the right, so pick your favorite, sign that one. I'm kidding, David's on the right, so then you're gonna be fine. And without further ado, we're bringing Rizwan up just to say, oh, Glickman's gonna come up. Okay, they keep pointing at each other. Is it heavy? Is your neck starting to hurt?
A little bit. Thank you. 18 years ago, in January 2007, I met Holly, the woman who would eventually become my wife. In the same month, I met David, who I've been in business with ever since. If you ask me which was the most impactful meeting, I will plead the fifth. It was not a bad January. I joined the company David had started as a contractor, setting up servers and general IT, became a partner along with Jesse and the other founding partners, and we created Hometown Telecom, Free Call Planet, India LD, and from that, Ultra Mobile, and then Mint Mobile, Plum, the list goes on. One of David's great skills is focusing on individual people's unique skills and not expecting them to fit within a preordained box. I've been fortunate enough to be involved with so many teams and so many roles here, and I can't imagine a place that I would have been able to feed my curiosity more. And that was incredibly special for me. Those of you that know me well know that this has been more than a job for me. It's a passion and a calling and a joy. Except for my family, it's the thing I'm most proud for having helped create. I wouldn't be comfortable transitioning roles unless I felt like I'd done my duty to each of you and left the role of steering our company with the right hands. I can't express to you the level of confidence I have in the leadership team to continue to be successful in the special way that we've created together. And like Andrew said, don't fuck it up. It is really easy in hindsight to see where we ended up as inevitable. It was not. Our growth wasn't foreordained, our success improbable, and our sale tremendous. Please be proud in what you helped create. You deserve it, every single person in this room. I started to write out anecdotes. We didn't know that folks were speaking, so thank you for sharing some of them. Funny stories from my histories and people I want to acknowledge. And then I realized if I did it, I'd be up here for an hour. In the end, I can't possibly express the affection and gratitude I have for all of you people who took a chance on us, who joined. Aaron Anderson, who's like, who the hell are these guys? And it's so many more. And people both here and at T-Mobile, whether it's Mike or Dan at Wholesale, the folks who allowed us to get to where we were at and trusted in us as partners, including some pretty crazy ideas that David came up with. You all know who you are. and you have my sincerest lifelong appreciation. Life is long, and I'm sure paths will cross again. It's been an honor.
Hi, I'm David. Hey, yes. One of you can't say that anymore, but you know. Demo, all right, fine. Yeah, I guess Demo, you're back to David now. I'll pass that torch on to you. Wow. Aloha. You know, first of all, thank you everybody for all the kind words. Mike, that was amazing. Thank you. Everybody, the pre-launch crew, the Andersons, as they were sometimes known. You guys didn't make that connection until just now, right? Sean, oh my God. Amazing. Everybody, thank you so much. I'm guessing you organized this. I don't know. You're a heck of an MC, and thank you. I also want to thank, you know, especially Aaron Anderson. You know, when we heard that we're going to do this, and Mike, thank you so much for, you know, suggesting that we take a moment to actually, you know, stop and smell the roses. To quote Ferris Bueller, I don't know. Life moves fast. But Aaron and the whole support team, I think Judith, Ella, Carla, Amy, Stacy, I don't know who, I mean, I'm just, whoever else has been involved in this. And yes, oh yeah, Tam, yes, thank you. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Look, for me, it's interesting. I had started other companies before, sold other companies before, and after a free conference, I basically took a little hiatus, and I went on a lot of boards. I got very bored, and I just assumed that I had this idea that I was, after selling free conference, I wasn't allowed to be in the conference call business anymore. I had a multi-year non-compete. I don't know where people learn that, Mike. So I said, but there was an interesting idea. If you can make money on inbound phone calls, and I can't do it in conference calling, why not give away free international calling? And that became callchinaforfree.com. By the way, do we still own that? We do? Oh my God. T-Mobile owns it now. Yeah. Yes. Callchinaforfree.com. And yes, who was it? Jesse said arbitrage. That was an arbitrage. We'd make like a penny a minute. It cost us 0.4 of a minute. And every time somebody called China for free, we banked it. Next thing you know, we had lots of people from America making lots of international calls. And we said, why not start an MVNO? I don't think I knew how to spell that back then, or what it was called, but it was more like, hey, these smartphones are coming out and people want to press mom. They don't want to press dial this number, put in a PIN number, blah, 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 blah. They just want to dial mom. Anyhow, I incubated this idea. I incubated this company. I brought some really smart people to say, hey guys, work from your home, do what you need to do. And, you know, I thought it'd be a fun little side gig. It ended up being so interesting, so fascinating. The people that we brought in got to a point where I said, I got to step in here and I've got to go full bore into this. And this went on for multiple years as you growing quickly, became Ultra, became Mint. And I have to say, there's nothing more exciting than working alongside the energy and the excitement, the innovation that all of you bring. I mean, this was, you know, it was a few years in where I said, I am never not running an organization. I am going to die at the CEO desk somewhere. Hopefully, it's 8 more companies after this one. But it's too exciting. I would come down here and just get so energized by your energy, what you guys would do. Yeah, sure, I've got lots of crazy ideas, but I've never seen them implemented the way you guys do. I've never seen Riz. Yes, somebody said the Riz the Wiz. I'm telling you, the wizard to mad scientist. Someone's got to write a book about that, because this couldn't have been done without you, and this couldn't have been done without everybody here. And gave me so much energy. So I have to thank you, all of you, for this. And look, it's a hell of a moment to go, from startup to unicorn, or a unicorn 1.35 of a unicorn. I'm not sure, 135% unicorn. But it's not about the destination. Okay, the destination was quite cool. But it really was about the journey. I love every minute here, from when we were setting up miniature golf courses and everything else. And there are a couple of people I definitely have to say one thing about, and I don't see him here, but where is Tony Martin? Where's Tony? All right, we gotta, by the way, the hardest working guy. Come on, Tony, get up here. Estamos trabajando hace casi 20 años, ¿no?
Casi 20 años.
20 years we've been working together, this guy. Everybody here knows Tony. There's not one thing he hasn't touched. He built a speakeasy. He built everything here, but not only that, he gets everything done. I had no idea. Tony is, as you know, he and I worked together for years. And then he calls me up one day. He says, David, I'm having my second kid. We're building a house in Santa Ana. I can't come up to Topanga anymore. I said, that's okay. I've got a spot for you in Orange County. And every single person has benefited thanks to Tony. Thank you. Anyhow, I'm not going to use the allotted 45 minutes that you guys gave me. I'll use 42 of them. I don't know. But there were notes. It says no signal detected input list. So I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do with that. But
those are not great notes then.
Those are not great notes. Are they somewhere else? I don't know. But anyhow, I'm sure I'm supposed to be thanking somebody and doing something. Oh, your screensavers. Yeah. Oh, here we go. Thank you. It's been an exciting ride. There we go. All right. Is that it? Are we? I think we're there. Listen, guys. I am so excited. I would love 2 things. One, a couple of you have come up to me and just given me some heartfelt thoughts about what it's like. Because if I've had this much excitement working with you, I'm hoping that some of it, you've had excitement working with us. So please, first thing, share that with me. I'd love to hear that. And the 95%, I hope, that are good, positive ones. Number 2, share those with Mike Katz right here. He's still my boss. Yeah, so Riz and I, as we move up to the, and Mike and I, we talked a bunch today, and I really enjoyed it, because it's given me an ideas to really think out of the box more for the whole world that is not just green, not just purple, but magenta. And I would love to sit down with you from time to time. That was an amazing offer, so thank you, and I'm sure you're gonna have a great time with Riz in Disneyland. But anyhow, thank you so much. Thank you to everybody. By the way, person we haven't mentioned yet, I don't know, is Clint. This guy likes to be quiet, but Clint runs all of Prepaid, and yes, and has been an inspiration for the last 8 or 9 months. We get together and we talk about, because we're now part of the family, and we need to know how to work together. And thank you, Holly and Anna, you guys, for organizing and everything else, and keeping us in check. So with that, I'm going to go back to that champagne there, And hopefully everybody. Oh yeah, let's raise a toast. Come on.
Yeah, final cheers.
Let's do it. Let's do it. To all being from one family here to now part of the big Magenta T-Mobile family, and everything and successes to everybody. Cheers.
All right, we will have more alcohol later. So just so you guys know, again, we're having lunch right now, and it's going to be over there. As I said, don't get lost. We will be having cake, very exciting, and also doing another cheers over there. So please join us, and then we will have another cheers and cake around 1:30ish. Huh? And then walk the road. There's like over on the shrubbery, you'll see it. There's some beautiful shrubs over there. And there's like a cool thing. Check that out. Again, sign your name, sign your favorite SLT member, pick them. If you like them both, that's fine too. And then whoever presented today, would you guys hang around? And also whoever planned this, if you can stick around, we're gonna do just a couple things up here real quick. See ya. All right, again, this is gonna be the final cheers. Then we're gonna eat some cake. We also have something special to hand off to these amazing gentlemen here. And I hope these are either labeled. Nope, they're not. Okay, cool. I just assumed they're all the same. I have no idea what you got. It's like when my wife buys Christmas gifts for my kids. I'm just as surprised at what they're getting. Oh, here we go. There was something. Okay. And Aaron, are we opening this up now? No. Yes. I think we just open it up. Let's do another Christmas.
Wait, are they safe for work? It's a SIM card, and it opens up now. This is a Mac 47.
Let's open them up. You guys have scissors, use your teeth. If not, it's a race. Whoever wins actually wins $100 Ultra Bucks. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, thanks for the background music.
Aaron, thank you.
Those would be the Aaron Anderson archives right there. And these are, company pictures, but they're also the really good pictures.
Thank you, Aaron.
All right, well, I'm up next. And then I'll give you a microphone. I get to go. Yeah, you walk back over there. Oh, what's going on, Lamb? Such a deceiver. But there's one more.
Like 2 or 3 people here.
There's one more gift. This actually came directly from my kids.
From your kids?
From my kids or my cats. I forget which one did it.
By the way, I already know what this is.
So no need to open it. Yeah.
Oh no, I'll open it chill.
Okay, yeah.
No, the box.
Oh yeah, somebody's got to get that. That's just beautiful right there.
All right, look for us. And now look.
So really quick, as you know,
We're bad at
we do a lot with what we call Ultra Bucks, right? So there's 2 things we want to do. When I said before, Ohana, always Ohana, or Ultra, always Ultra, we want to make sure that we never forget these 2. What's a great way of doing that? Is you put your face on money. That's real money. Ultra Bucks, if you get 100, it's 100 Ultra Bucks. I would come up in here and get that. How many t-shirts can you really buy? Although we make a shit ton of them.
Let's see. We have one more. Is this it? With no disrespect to your green shoes, we have a favorite pair for you guys here.
Can I go to a game with Luca? Depressing here, Dallas fans.
But who is?
I mean, I was born and raised there, so I mean, who doesn't love Luca? You must be so excited. We're so sad.
Right here.
By the way, I did see somebody today wearing the OG Chicago Bulls Michael Jordans. I don't know. I saw them today, the black and the red. But I was saying, oh God, I love Jordans, and suddenly they appeared.
They will always be.
Thank you.
That's amazing. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Wait.
Oh,
I have two things. One is, even though I'm not sure who the OG employee is. Who's employee number one at Ultra Mobile or UVNB? Sean Enright. Sean Enright. There's a few more. I know Aaron was early, but there was another guy, and he didn't get to speak today. And I am going to use my last moment of CEO-ness here to bring up yes.
Thank you. I just want to say thank you to both of you. It's been an incredible ride. When I started 12 years ago, it was the first time I ever had a beer during a job interview.
And a pancake.
And a pancake. The pancake was on Sunday. Friday was the beer and Sunday was the pancake. And I thought, what am I getting myself into?
What did you get yourself into?
Well, it was quite a ride.
Give us one story. Come on.
Well, there's many.
I only have 90 minutes, but all right.
Hey, David.
No one needs to do anything today,
Just really quick, because it was supposed to be the theme.
I know.
No, of the Hawaiian roast. Who would have been the best?
Well, he's here. Let's do it.
Well, my first business trip was the trip to Hawaii, and it was quite a trip. I got to see the ocean from a distance between glass that had writing all over it. I did not be able to see the ocean at all, but it was still a great trip, and it was a lot of fun getting to meet everybody on that. Sean was definitely a big part of that trip, being able to see him, and Jesse as well, and Aaron. We had so much fun and so many good memories. And now looking back today, I've had a chance to really reflect on the beginning and not the end for all of us here, but maybe a little bit for you guys. But thank you very, very much for the long ride here. It's been fun, from crowdfunding to the SPAC to everything that we've been to Primo. There's been so many, from the theft of our TVs in Red Hill. There were so many fun memories. Every bit of it. I was power cables. The power cables. Yeah, I just learned about that a few minutes ago.
Doubly batteries.
Yes, but you know, Mike Katz mentioned the entrepreneurial spirit, and I had not really been exposed to that until I met you guys. And I've learned so much. Not that I'm going to start my own company, but at the same time, just learning and understanding that entrepreneurial spirit that you both have, and you will taught everybody here. We've all taken away with so much of a lesson from that. So thank you. Thank you for everything that you've done for everybody here. Really appreciate it.
Hey guys, so one of David and Rizwan's last wishes as CEO is we want a group photo. So
Oh, wait. I didn't know we were doing announcements. I thought we had. Give me 2 minutes. Sorry.
This is what we call entrepreneurial spirit.
Yes. Okay.
It's not called.
sorry. All right, hold on. I had one other thing I wanted to add, and I think I touched on it earlier. And by the way, here's a trick I learned. Shh. See how that works? All right. So I was talking to Gary afterwards, and he said, David, I don't understand. Like, you did this, you sold it, you got, you got a great, result for everybody, which, by the way, if you guys know our core values, one of them is always act like an owner. And everybody is an owner. You've been with us. The greatest thing the absolute greatest statistic, forget, fastest growing company, forget what we sold for with this and that and everything else. The most important thing is that first, if you're working here, your biggest regret is probably that you didn't start sooner. Yeah. And I will tell you that those of you who did, the lucky few, people got stock options that were struck at, I think, as low as $1, maybe even lower. I forgot what this thing, but $1.03. There you go. And those end up being almost between 30 and 40x of where they were. So a lot of times people have come here with other companies, and sometimes the stock goes up, sometimes it doesn't, whatever. But I mean, thanks to you guys, this could not be done without everybody here. This has been success story of success story, and we had so much fun along the way. Last thing, Gary came up to me afterwards. He's like, David, he says, why aren't you just like going out and living the rest of your life on a yacht and this and that or whatever? And I'm like, no, there'll be a yacht somewhere in my future. Don't worry about that. So I'm not going to poo-poo, ocean-going vessels. Are you inviting everyone? Maybe. But I do have to say one thing. He's like, David, but why do you want to keep doing this? I said, the most fun I've ever had. Before this, I had sold Free Conference, as I mentioned, and I didn't work, full-time for 11 years. When I came back here, this is the most fulfilling, most exciting. Why wouldn't I want to? This, to me, is not work. Having crazy ideas and having amazing people around you that can do stuff that has never been done before, that is so fulfilling, so self-actualizing, and I just like it. Your ingenuity excites me, so I only want to keep doing this over and over again. But yes, I'll have drinks on a yacht if I must. But anyhow, Riz, you have something? Otherwise, apparently Tam's got an announcement or two.
We announced this at short notice. I just wanted to especially thank Aaron and Ella, and I know I'm missing, and Judith and a couple other people. This all came together with about a week's notice. 4 days. Tam has opinions, by the way. 4 days. And look, it means so much to both of us to be here with all of you guys and celebrate. And yeah, so thank you, everyone. And he's absolutely right at being, it's work for some of us, but it's also a ton of joy and a ton of fun.
All right, coming up. Two things, very quick. One, sad. Judith was so excited to be here, a little tiny bit too excited, and she got into a car accident. So she's absolutely fine. Her car is not fine. She got 3/4 of the way here, and she went back, another 50 miles back to LA in a tow truck. But she's wishing she could be here in spirit. She just called me, and we're all okay there. But she managed to literally somehow call an Uber for the cake that she was carrying, and the cake is here instead of Judith. So Judith, if this is on video, I'm sorry you can't be here. I miss you. I know we spent yesterday, and I was still giving you lots of assignments. But anyhow, I'm sorry you can't be here. And then I have one last word for everybody, and that is mahalo.
All right, So with that, we are gonna take a group photo. This is our photographer right here. She's gonna tell us where to go. This is our last photo with David and Riz, everybody. So go ahead, let's go ahead and head out that way. And then after, if you haven't had a chance, please sign the posters for David and Riz. We have a photo booth. We have special messages, and so
I don't want to see the color of my shirt or Riz's shirt by the time I take it home. I don't want to see. I only want to see Sharpie with everybody's names or at least initials, and let me guess later on.
Yeah, he's right. All right, so let's head out there, and you guys are gonna follow her.
Congrats, Dave and Rizwan. I know it's been a long time coming, and it must be an amazing feeling to, finally sell your company that you've been working so hard on for the last 10 years. I'm Patrick, met a few times, and I'm really happy for you all and see what happens out of the company going forward. So, congratulations.
Hey, David and Rizwan, I just want to congratulate you on your next milestone. I have so much gratitude and respect for what you've done in turning an organization from zero to $1 billion. I want you to know that you've changed my life as well as 600 other employees here at Ultra. Thank you so much, and if there's anything that you ever need, please call Tam Tran.
Mr. Glickman and Mr. Kasim. I've only been with this company for about 1.5 years, and honestly, it's been one of the best experience I've had. The culture you guys raised here is absolutely amazing, and I got to see kind of the culture within the leadership at the Leadership Summit, working AV for you guys, and the energy and the power, it just streams down through all the lines, and really appreciate you guys for making this, and really appreciate being part of all this. So thank you, and congratulations.
Hey, David and Riz, this is Andrew Huckahuren. I just want to thank you guys for giving me the opportunity to work at Ultra. I started off at supply chain, and then you guys gave me the opportunity to become a software engineer. And that's something I would like to thank you guys for giving me the opportunity to come from shipping all the way to becoming, the software engineer I am today. I'd like to thank you. Thank you.
Hey, David. Hey, Riz. Really appreciate everything you've done for the company, but also for me, it's been really great hearing the story about the founding of the company and translating that into bringing the Ultra brand especially to life. So really appreciate you and everything you've done for us. Cheers to what's next.
Hey, Riz and David. This is Chatura. I'm in the engineering side. I've been at Ultra for 4 years. From the bottom of my heart, I want to thank you both for taking the company to where it is at today. I think I slacked you guys both this, but I really appreciate what you guys did for the company, and because of all you guys' hard work and the company, I'm an immigrant. I came here at 12 years old from Sri Lanka. I am finally realizing one of my biggest dreams, which is home ownership, and I own a 3-bedroom, 3-bath townhouse in Orange County now because of what you guys were able to accomplish. As an immigrant, as a person that loves this company, thank you so much. And I wish you guys the best and hope we keep in touch. Thank you.
I just wanted to say thank you to both David and Riz. I've been with the company since 2018. I got hired January 2nd, and my interview was actually on Halloween of 2017. And I remember kind of going through the process, and I came in on Halloween and everyone was dressed up, and there was such a fun party and such a festive atmosphere, and I just thought this place is clearly really special and I want to be a part of it. And my first day, Aaron North told me, hey, start thinking about commercial ideas, and I just felt so lucky and blessed right away to be here. And I just feel like in the time, like over the past 7 years, everything that's happened and all the successes of the company, I just continually noticed that theme of what felt so special on day one still feels so special on day 365 times 7, whatever that is. I'm a copywriter, so I don't do math. But I just want to say thank you so much. This place has been such a blessing in my life. It's brought so much joy to me and so much professional growth, personal growth. I met so many good friendships, and it's really just helped me kind of, just really made my life better in so many ways. And I feel like I'll always remember my time here, and I'll just always be so grateful for your guidance and mentorship and leadership. So thank you so much. Congratulations.
I'm so grateful that we were all able to get together here today.
It's definitely bittersweet, but it's just been so great to see everyone, to celebrate, to see folks really connect with what we've all built together, and I'm just so grateful for that. And for folks to talk about what has changed in their life, both by working here and being part of a deal, and it's really special, and it's something that doesn't get talked about enough about building something. You get to see folks flourish around it, folks who have had their entire career there, and that you've learned from and you get to learn from. So I'm really grateful for that.
I couldn't be happier for how much fun we've had, what we've created, all the innovation that we've done, challenging everybody, people telling me that it's the best place they've ever worked. Their only regret is that they didn't join earlier, especially since they've learned how people that have joined at the very beginning, how much the stock has appreciated. About 3 or 4 people have come up to me today to say thank you. Since the exit, they've been able to buy a home, which is not a small feat in Southern California. Somebody was telling me that in their department, 4 people in the last few months all purchased their first home, and they're only a few years out of college.
Not even their department. It was out of 8 people, 4 of them bought homes. So you can probably count 20 or 30 at least within the company, which is amazing.
Yeah, so to me that is the most exciting. People paying off student loans, doing everything. I mean, and the whole time this is the only place I wanted to be. Being around incredibly bright people doing the most interesting things. Yes, I have a lot of harebrained ideas, but having the people around me that can say, one, like, that's a dumb idea, we shouldn't do that. Okay, I needed that. And 2, like, yeah, that's a good one. And they know how to implement it better than anybody. And what we've done here, what you all have done here, is just, I mean, it's just sent chills to me. That's all I want to do. All I want to do is have more and more experiences like this. So yes, I love this, and I will be consulting and helping T-Mobile in any way possible. And at the same time, you better believe there's another entrepreneurial venture or 2 inside of it.
I gave a few years ago about, hey, someday this will be $1 billion challenger.